Hey, fans out there, welcome to another episode of Play by Play with Super Bowl champion fan, New England Patriot fan, Coach Jerry, and I'm also with Coach Pat. And we've got some incredibly special guests. I've been hyping this podcast all week, and I did a special video on Friday. We can't wait to hear from the ladies that have the secrets of Superwomen. Pat, why don't you take over?
Good afternoon, everybody. I was thinking what time zone we were in. Good afternoon, everyone. We're coming to you live from Southern California today. I have two old friends. Their parents were dear friends of me and Maggie in Gaithersburg, Maryland, back in the day. Krista and Leslie. Krista Goral, is that how I say it, Krista?
Got it.
All right. And Leslie Kelly. And Krista and Leslie grew up with my kids in Gaithersburg, Maryland, many, many years ago. I look old enough for many, many years ago. They do not. They look fabulous. And I just want to let everybody know that the reason that they are on our podcast, we usually do sports, obviously, but my wife and I bumped into them on Facebook a couple of years ago doing these little videos on these neat little ideas that the lexicon is hacks or shortcuts. And I just watch all of them. And so does my wife. And I just thought it would be an interesting segment. So welcome, Krista and Leslie. How are you?
Great. Thanks, Pat. Thanks, Jerry.
Well, I have a few questions to start off with because we do have a time frame here. First of all, they're very informative little videos on little ideas, little shortcuts to everyday life. Jerry and I have some of our favorites that we'll bring up, but explain, Krista, the origin of this whole idea.
Yeah, well, like you're right, Pat. This started, I guess it was a couple of years ago, right, Leslie? It's almost been, this summer will be 2 years, a year and a half. And really, the origin was, Leslie and I are sisters, and we both are busy working moms, and we're constantly sharing tips and tricks with each other to try and just make general life easier, save time, have more fun. And so we do that over, chat, and we go back and forth over text and send, hey, here's this product or here's this idea, right? And then we, of course, do some of that with our friends too. But we thought about, wouldn't it be cool if we could take all of these hacks and share them with the entire community? We do focus on women. A lot of, to your point, a lot of these hacks go, across all genders. But you're really taking all these tips and tricks and sharing them, not only from our lives, but also like from our friends' lives, right, Les?
Yeah, totally. I think, our thing is we want to share wisdom with women so that we all can just have more fun at the end of the day. What are those little time-saving hacks that people are doing and bringing those things that we've learned and that women have learned along the way and share them with more women. So that's really what we're trying to do.
I
Yeah.
shared these with my golf club, and one of the guys said it purposely. He came back and he said, "It's like a guilty pleasure. You can't just eat one. Once you get into one, you got to look at
There
another one,
you go.
another one." And that's what I ended up doing. I went to travel, and I went to workout, and I went to every day, and I just got immersed. I caught myself. Whoa, whoa! How long has it been? They're great hacks.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, they were great
Now,
hacks. And
there's
they
a
are for
couple of,
everybody. I mean, you got a bunch of
yeah.
retirees that play golf two times a week, and we're all sitting at a table, about 20 of us, and I roll this out to them, and they're like, oh my God.
Well, you need to send us their hacks so we can share them, and we'll just keep.
Yes.
Well, we'll get into that. We'll get into that because I I saw all these superwomen groups on Facebook near your posts. Now, they created their own superwomen groups. Is that who these people are? Or are they connected to you?
I don't think they're connected to us. Or is that what you're, Leslie, is that what you're
Yeah, no,
doing?
I did see there are a few that have Superwomen or Superwoman in the name. That are ours is only the Secrets of Superwomen. But I love that there are other groups out there. You know, there really are just women wanting to build these communities. Ours is really around time saving hacks. I think some of the other ones are with maybe different specific things they're going after, but love seeing it.
Now, you answered this in one of your videos, uh, right off the bat. In one of the videos, Krista explained that you are not paid for any of these sponsorships, correct?
Correct. That's right. Yeah, all of our tips are organic. Like they're either things that we're doing ourselves or that other women have shared with us. Sometimes there are products around it. So, like our mom and all her friends, like, gosh, are your daughters getting paid for this? We're not. This is our passion project. Maybe that happens someday, but these are all real tips that are coming to us from women, not product partnerships.
Now, Jerry would have something to add to this because he's done some social media business. Jerry, they should be getting paid for this, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it takes an awful lot. I went through a gal who was on Love Island. She actually won Love Island, mentored me in how to become an influencer and get sponsorship. The problem was I started getting sponsorships, but they were all women's products, and I couldn't get any men's products. But
Cool.
we had a lot of fun promoting Sephora and Amika and every other skincare uh, item that I could get my hands on. But that's where it all starts. You just got to start posting a lot of videos and sharing them, and it's a nonstop. Start a group in Discord. It's a site. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but go there and start a group, and people will start coming in and chatting and talking things up. But I loved them. I thought. I mean, you always see hacks, and they're all disassociated. They're all over the place when you see them online. These are all in one spot, and they're isolated by topic. I saw a couple on charging your phone. So that I saw a couple for every day on a phone charger you can plug in the wall, and so I mean, I enjoyed them, and I know some of my friends have enjoyed them too, and I know that their significant others and wives are all going to be um, all over this. So you hopefully you'll get a new audience.
No, that's
Now,
great. And look, that's how we're getting our content, right? It's coming to us. So the more people that follow us and see what we're doing, the more tips we're getting and the more we can share. So it's just been growing like that. So thank you for helping support
but
us.
I see that you guys don't do all of the episodes. So you farm out, if somebody gives you an idea, you say, hey, why don't you do it? Or tell me how that works when your friends or acquaintances do a video.
Sure, I can hop in with this one. So, generally when someone will come to us with a tip, or if we hear of one, we will usually ask the person that's coming to us and say, hey, do you feel comfortable filming it? Not everyone wants to be on camera, right? Not everyone feels comfortable. If they do, we really welcome them sharing their own tip because we want to promote women helping women, right? Not just us and our faces, but everyone. Now, if people do not feel comfortable, we definitely will still promote the tip and we'll just give them a shout out. As you've probably seen in some of our posts, we'll give them a little bit of a shout out in the comments. Yeah, so that's a little bit about how we're doing it, which I think is a little unique for some of these different brands on Instagram, but and Facebook. But that's what's been working for us.
Now, let me ask you this. I know these two girls, and they're very lovely and they're very enthusiastic about what they're doing. They're also very successful in their own businesses, raising their own small families. Uh, but what what episodes do you feel were probably most helpful to your following? Like what kicked it off, and then what kept it going? Any impetus there you can share?
So I'll share what one I think, and maybe also to Leslie after, one of our most engaged with reels was the texting in advance reel, which was shared by our friend Jamie. And that's where you can go onto your phone and schedule a text message for any date and time 2 weeks in advance. And she showcased how to do that and gave some examples on how you could wish someone a happy birthday, or just a thinking of you text if they mentioned something to you in that moment, or if it's in the middle of the night and you don't want to be texting someone at 3 a.m. when you think of something, another good way to do it. So that was probably one of our most followed reels for 2025. So, and really helpful for me too. I use it all the time.
Yeah, and I think that's a great one. We have over 150 at this point, I think, that we've shared over the past year and a half. I think the one that Jerry, you touched on earlier, that was the very first tip that Krista had shared from Superwoman Shannon, about the phone charger. That is one that wasn't necessarily number one engaged with online, but in real life. I've been gifting that to people. I've heard people talk about how much they love it because it's a travel charger that plugs directly in the wall and can literally charge anything because it has all the different connections. And I know in my house, I had one, my husband kept stealing it. We got him one. Now our kids are stealing them. And it just, I've seen in practice, that one's just been a game changer, as we want to keep all of our electronics charged these days.
Well, let me ask you, during the holidays, what do you promote? I mean, that's a big time when people are always looking for ways to save time.
So I would say one of our hacks that we share on Black Friday is to do the holiday shopping in advance, right? There's so many great
Yeah,
things going on that
yeah,
weekend. It's Cyber Monday and just buying all sorts of things. Now it could be for holidays, but I also love
right.
buying hostess gifts then. So I'll buy a bunch of candles or I'll buy a blanket and just keep them in the closet. And then you can use them and always have them on hand and you wind up saving a bunch of money that way. It's a fun way to shop kind of in advance of the holidays too.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorites. That was
Yeah,
one of my
that's a
favorites.
good one.
Go ahead, Jerry.
You did something about ordering a Christmas tree or an
I was
offering.
just gonna comment with that one.
Go
That was
ahead.
my favorite was that we had a friend that door dashes her Christmas tree each year, and she shared that as a way to have it delivered and set up, right? We think about door dashing or Instacarting food, but you can actually do that with a Christmas tree.
That's
So
great. I didn't know that.
And how do you take a sticky little tag off of a gift or an item if you can't peel it off? Krista, how do you do that?
Well, I shared that one too this holiday season, and that's I use a hair dryer because really that's just a sticky little label, but on some surfaces those things really stick on hard. So if you heat up the glue, they're easier to pull off. So what I do is take a hair dryer to it for about a minute, and then it makes it a lot easier to just pull that tag off, and it doesn't leave as much of that sticky residue, and you can just keep hitting it up till it comes right off, and then it's gone.
You know, one of the secrets of this presentation is its brevity. Okay. You get right to the point and you act it out. You show people what to do. You've had a couple, and they weren't done by you, that were a little too long. And I don't want to offend any of your friends. So I'll just leave it at that. Stick with Krista and Leslie's model of brevity. Now, another one, which I will not do, but you got Krista in her kitchen making like 10 sandwiches for the
That was
week.
Leslie. That
That
was
was
Leslie.
Leslie. Freeze, and you freeze them? Is that what you do?
yes, that I learned the hack from my sister because I called her one day and was like, "How do you get out the door in the morning to drop the kids off and go to work?" She's like, "Oh, I have a hack for you. Make all the peanut butter and jelly. It's actually sun butter. We're not allowed to have peanuts in the preschool where my kids went, but make them all on a Sunday night, freeze them, and you just take it out and it's thawed out by lunch." So I that's one that changed my life every morning as it saved me those few minutes, and I got that back to do other things.
And Melanie doesn't do that, but she will on Sunday, Saturday and Sunday. You guys probably already do this. She will make dinners for the week because of how busy everybody is, and somebody eats at 6 and somebody eats at 7:30. So I'm sure a lot of people do that, making dinners for the week, freezing them, putting them in the fridge, and then heating them up when you need them, right?
Totally.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on workouts? A lot of people exercise. What are your favorite hacks for working out?
Yeah, my favorite is, I like to do yoga and I like to go on walks and like listen to a podcast like yours. And my hack during both yoga and going on walks is to wear white strips, just the crest, ones you get from CVS or whatever drugstore, because my mouth is closed. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm doing yoga or listening to a podcast. So then after, say, a 45-minute or hour-long class or walk, I have white teeth, I've gotten some exercise, and I do two things at once. People used to always ask me why my teeth are so white, and that is the answer.
Maybe I'll add my favorite one, which is actually right here with me in my office, a treadmill desk. I am huge on walking both while I'm working, on meetings, also outside in nature. But when you can't do that, I highly recommend a walking pad under your desk, and it just really helps keep your energy up and get your steps in.
It does. That's a great one. And also, they make that's a standing one, right? That's
I have a stand sit desk with a walking pad underneath it. And so when I want to walk, I can put the desk on standing and just kind of walk. And they make them really affordable now on Amazon even. So they used to be kind of clunky and expensive.
that's
And
great.
another one, I'm sorry, Jerry, and another one that pertains really to me and Jerry in our 70s because we're old and feeble. Uh, the one about the case that holds up to 6 pills,
Yeah.
or a
Yeah.
contact lens case that holds your meds. And I mean, that was perfect.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
good. I have them in every
Here,
bag.
I got 2 meds right
I
now.
got I got to find
I,
a
I,
case like that. I have a real long one and it's a pain to pack.
yeah,
Whenever I
yeah.
go overseas, I need something tight.
I put mine in a napkin, roll them up, put them in my pocket. Not anymore.
Yeah, they're so thin. I have one in my car console. I keep one in my suitcase, like my carry-on, and then you have to carry around these big bottles, and
Yeah,
I take a lot of the same pills.
when I
I
went to
have to
Italy,
admit,
in October for the month, I put all my pills in individual baggies, and it it would have been
uh,
nice to have a nice container to just fill them up with.
for day by day. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The one that I turned off almost immediately, Krista, was I wasn't into the fitted bra one. Okay,
Ah,
so I
that was,
kind of X'd that one
I
out.
know, I'm so,
I'm glad to hear
that
that.
was a little bit more risque, but to be fair for your listeners, I was over a long sleeve bodysuit, so it was not on
That's
its own.
right. That's right. That's right. We should mention that. Absolutely. Jerry, what else do you have?
Well,
And
I think they have a couple on sneakers, and then I thought I saw one on donuts or snacks.
Yeah, Krista, do you want to take the sneakers? I'll take the donuts.
Sure, yeah. So the sneakers one, this is from true Superwoman friend Carrie, and she turned me on. She always had the best sneakers, and she turned me on to the fact that you can actually buy a child's sneaker in a larger size, and it's the same as buying like a women's size sneaker. So basically, if you buy like a big kid's size 6, you just add 2 sizes, and that's a size 8
Eight.
women's, which I am, right? So I can buy a size 6. So I did this with Nike, just white sneakers. I did it with a pair of UGG boots this winter, which was a
Oh,
huge savings. I saved like $40 or $50
yeah,
just by buying the kids' version of the UGG boots, which fit and look exactly the same. So that's a really good saving money footwear hack.
that alone's a reason to sponsor you right there.
That's
yeah,
right.
Giving
I
people
mean,
yeah.
that kind of money.
UGG, call me.
They'll have a spike in kids' shoes.
That's right.
Um, And then the donuts one was actually one of my friends, Superwoman Steph, who she was saying how whenever we buy donuts, usually there's some left over and you just, kind of throw them away. But she said, no, put them in the freezer. She has 4 kids. And she said, it's makes my kids so happy when I pull out a donut when, it's a rough morning or they just need something positive and she can pull it out of the freezer and warm it up in 20 seconds. So that was the donut one.
That's great. So, we're talking about all these hacks and all the great things that you've put together and gotten from other people. Where can people find you? The new people that are going to be listening here, how do they reach you? How do they find you? How do they I mean, I can say Instagram, but why don't you share?
Yeah, sure. I can start. We are currently on Instagram and Facebook from a social media standpoint, Secrets of Superwomen. And we also have a Gmail account, secretsofsuperwomen@gmail.com. So welcome to reach out on any of those platforms. We are just getting started on YouTube and TikTok, so stay tuned for that.
That's great.
This will be on YouTube, correct, Jerry?
Yeah, we'll post this on YouTube and it'll also be on Apple, on Spotify, and iHeartRadio.
And we'll send you the link when it's finalized and produced, so you can get it out there, ladies. It's been a lot of fun. By the way, sticking with golf, Krista, didn't your husband used to sell golf clubs and apparel?
So he worked for Callaway. So he was in more their like communications department. But
Oh,
yes,
okay.
he was there for about 10 years. A lot of those golf companies are based here in San Diego, where Leslie and I live.
That's my
He
club
doesn't
girl,
do that
Callaway.
anymore, though, right?
Admittedly, I don't know much about golf, but he knows a lot.
Well, if you have any golf
Jerry's a big
hacks like
golfer.
cleaning golf shoes and all that, share them.
Actually, I do have a hack for that. I wouldn't say it was particular for golf shoes, but the white ones and even white sneakers get really dirty. And we haven't posted this one yet, but you can use a white eraser, like a Mr. Clean eraser for your walls. And if
Yeah,
you just get that a little bit wet and wipe that on your white shoes, it comes right off.
that's great. Well, it has been fun sharing these, and I'm going to really encourage everybody to go out to see Leslie and Krista at Secrets of Superwoman um, on Instagram, on Facebook, and you can reach them at secretsofsuperwoman@gmail.com and literally jump into these hacks. I guarantee once you start, you won't stop. You'll want to know them all.
Yeah, yeah.
Girls, thanks for so much. Ladies, thanks for so much for being on our podcast. A lot of fun. And fans, we're going to the Super Bowl again.
And Wooten,
Go
Wooten
Pats.
High forever. Go Wooten High.
That's right.
Woot in!
Thank you
All
both
right,
for
thank you all. I appreciate it.
Thanks for your support. Can't